ago we started reviewing structures. Now today we are going to check. We're going to emphasize on the section um, of word formation, which is transforming one word from one word to another according to the necessity of the text. There were two exercises in the exam that used this format, so it's very important to check it out. It's right here, test one, and we were here. Perfect. So the next word that we needed to do was number 18, which was the word blind. No? It said, but some consider his most space work to be from his later years. That's innovative, when he suffered from partial something and was confined to his bed and a wheelchair. Okay, so let's talk about this section. What type of word do we need in number 19? Let's start with Mike. According to the line, according to the word before and the word later, after, what kind of word do you need in this case? Mike, you there? What's up?
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what is the partial. Mm, no, I don't know, teacher.
No? But
No,
what do you don't know? You don't know the answer, or you don't know the family, or you don't know what?
I don't understand what is the
The question.
what the word. I use the write anything.
No. The idea or the strategy, the way you should attack
Uh-huh.
this exercise is first understanding what word family do you need. What kind
Okay.
of word do you need? Do you need an adjective? Do you need a noun? Do you need an adverb? Do
Oh,
you need
okay.
a
Catch.
verb? You know? So what kind of word do you need here so it can get easy to identify the word? No?
Okay. In this case, is noun.
In this case, it's noun. How do you know it's a noun?
Because is the partial is no is a noun, is an adjective
Partial is an
because
adjective.
is adjective. If from is a connector.
Okay. And what's the relation to
Uh,
the noun? Why do you say you need a noun?
because the first one the he suffered is the subject and verb, and the
Okay.
connector for partial. From partial is another idea or there.
That
Yeah, is
okay,
another.
but that doesn't tell me
Uh-huh.
why you need a noun.
Because we need a description because I another connector is and another is other idea that was confident. This is
Confined.
confined. This is a verb, a noun. In this case, I think this purpose is noun. Wait, no.
Excuse me. Well, you
I
are.
think,
Uh-huh.
uh-huh. I think maybe it's a verb.
Oh, so now
No,
it's a verb.
no, I don't know.
Okay. If you if you were guessing, you The first thing that you told me was that partial was an adjective, no?
Ajá, ya.
For that reason, you need a noun to describe.
Okay.
Because an adjective needs to describe a noun.
Okay.
That's the reason you need a noun.
Because, okay. Porque that is need a description. No? No?
Because we have a description,
We have
right? We have a description, so for
for
because
now.
of
Mhm.
logic, we need a noun after the word partial.
Mhm.
That's the way you need to think. First, you need to identify what word you need, so you can transform the word into a noun. Number
Okay.
19 is to transform blind into a noun that can fit here. So you need to understand what is blind.
Yes, when you, no able to see.
A person who cannot see
Mhm.
is blind.
Um,
Transform this into a noun. In order to transform this into a noun, we have all these suffixes and prefixes. We have the word et, nes, see, ist, ism, ship, and age, and shun, sun, shun, meant, ant, and h, all ends in eri or re. Transform the word blind into a noun.
is blindness?
That is totally correct. Blindness. Good job. Blindness is the condition of being unable to see. And look at the collocation. Partial blindness.
Okay.
The same way you have a bit here.
Okay.
Partial blindness. Right?
Okay. Cacho. Yeah.
That's the way. This is something called word formation, Michael. To transform words from one
Mhm.
family to another with a corresponding termination or with words before it.
Okay.
Let's go to the next
Mhm.
one. And was confined to his bed in a wheelchair because of his no because of this he used an space method. In this case, what type of word do we need? Let's go with Isaac.
Let me see. Oh, let me open in my cell phone because I cannot read.
It's
Yes,
just you.
and was confused together because of this. He used an. I think that we need an adjective.
An adjective.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you know that?
I Let me read because you are describing how is the method, no?
You say how is the method? How is the method?
Or you are well describing the method.
Oh, you're describing the method. I like it better. Yes, because
Yes,
how is the method is like, how are you?
yes,
I am
no.
fine. You know, it sounds weird. What type of method? Probably that would be, or in
Mm-hmm.
general, describing the method, as you say.
Yes.
What is the particular the particular characteristic that we can infer when we have the word an?
Yeah, could you repeat the question?
I repeat, what can we infer from the word
Mm-hmm.
when we have the word an?
No, I don't know.
Yes, you know.
Mhm.
Yes, you know, if you have the word an, it tells you something about the missing word.
No, I don't know. I think that it's something singular, maybe. That
It's
is
singular. Apart from that, when is unnecessary?
that it started with vowel.
That's the thing that I am talking about. So
Okay,
it's an adjective
it
that
starts
starts with
with vowel. Yeah.
exactly. You see, those are the observations that you can make. In this case, we have the word experiment. Experiment
Okay.
is a noun. You need to transform it into an adjective.
Okay. I think it's experimental.
Exactly. Experimental. That's correct. Based on new ideas, forms, or methods. So, an experimental method. Does it make sense?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Does it make sense?
Oh, yes.
Cool. Very, very good. All right. So let's go to the next one. He cut brightly painted sheets of paper into large shapes. Here I'm using a space. Under his guidance, these paper cutouts were attached to the walls of the studio. He then directed his space to move the pieces into the precise something. In this case, Jesse. What type of word do we need in this space according to the words next to it?
I think it's a noun
And how do you know it's a noun?
for the possessive. His.
Because we have the possessive, we need a noun. There's no other word that can go next to a possessive. The word that we need is to transform assist into
A noun?
a noun. How do you do that?
Mm,
Don't suffer. You can do this.
mm, mm, mm. Assistant?
Assistant. That is totally correct. His assistant. And according to the book, we needed also assistants, which is plural, according because we
Assistant. Ah,
probably
okay.
it is plural, but really we don't know. The word assistant is enough. Okay, good job, excellent.
Okay.
Next one, to move the pieces into the precise space he had in mind. Michael, what type of word do we need in number 22?
Mm, a verb?
A verb. How do you know it's a verb?
Because I see we have we have two ideas, the prices, and we had
The what again?
the I see we have a two idea, well, two
Two
ideas, no?
ideas.
The pieces into the one,
Pronunciation?
the second pieces
Uh, pronunciation.
price size,
Again.
price size,
Pronunciation. How do you pronounce
price,
it? This is
price,
not pride. Some word. Some word. Pronunciation.
E,
eh, uh,
E,
eh,
Exactly.
eh,
Pre.
pre, pre, precise,
Exactly.
precise,
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 Precise.
precise,
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 No,
okay,
no, no. Precise.
precise,
Exactly. Precise.
precise,
The
pre,
second
pre,
syllable is the strong one.
precise,
Precise is similar to exact,
okay,
and it's an adjective. So Because it's an adjective, you cannot have a verb after it.
Okay.
The word is not a verb. Another option
is a noun too?
it's a noun
A
too.
noun?
Okay. How do you know it's a noun?
Because the adjective describe a noun.
Exactly. It needs a noun after it. For the
Mhm.
same reason, you needed a noun in number 19.
Mhm.
It's exactly the same reason. You need to transform the word arrange into a noun.
Arrangement?
Arrange what? Again?
¿Me sirve aquí
Uh,
arriba?
We need to check it because the termination li is not for nouns.
is arrangement? Arrange? Mm. Oh my God. No, maybe arrange. See? No.
Arrange C doesn't exist. No,
No?
no. I'm gonna help you here.
Yeah.
The suffix for arrange in as a noun is arrangement.
Arrangement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to check
Arrangement.
that the word arrange is a verb.
Ajá.
In this list, we are transforming adjectives and nouns.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
list, we are transforming nouns, and in this list, we are transforming verbs. So the
Okay.
only option was this list.
Okay.
And from this list, we needed the word meant.
Arrangement. Yeah.
Exactly. The word was arrangement. Ta-da!
Okay.
arrangement,
Arrangement.
Okay. The
Okay.
precise arrangement he had in mind. Good one. So it's about understanding the material, Mike. In this case, you needed to understand that the blue family are nouns,
Ajá.
the
Okay.
orange family
Adjective.
are adjectives, and the green family are verbs.
Pairs. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
one, brother. The next one, number 23. Go, Isaac. What kind of word do we need in number 23?
23. The inspiration for some of the most remarkable Caesar's drawing was placed with this. The inspiration for I think that we need an adjective
Yes, how do you know that?
because we have a noun that is places and the verb was, so we need to describe how we need to describe the places.
Exactly. You need to describe the places. You are correct. We need to transform the word memory into an adjective.
Yeah, I remember that one because I don't know how to transform it.
Okay, and the answer helps you.
Yes, what's the word? Memory?
Memory.
I remember that let me check. I think that I just add like ed, but
Aha, you
but
added memory to it. That doesn't
just
exist.
yeah, yes. I remember. I realized about that.
Adjective, suffixes. Let me find. Oh.
I think that this memory, is it, I don't know, is it memorable?
Memorable. You are totally correct. Exactly.
Okay.
In the adjective list, we have the word able.
Oh, well, yes, drinkable.
Drinkable, countable, avoidable, memorable. Very good, brother.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. And the last one, number 24. Jesse, what kind of word do we need on number 24?
Adjective.
Adjective. Exactly. How do you know that?
For the noun trip,
Okay.
the noun we describe the trip,
Exactly.
and
And the and, no? Similar to what we said with Isaac, what can we infer from the adjective when you have the word an?
it's adjective with a vowel.
Exactly. It starts
Starts with a vowel.
with a vowel. Exactly.
So,
Such as forget. This is very important because the word is forget. And forget doesn't start with with a vowel.
yes, why?
Exactly. This means that you need something else before it. You know what I mean?
Before forget.
Uh-huh. Because in the formation of adjectives, we saw
It's negative.
it's negative, girl. Exactly.
Uh,
Over, under, on, im, and that's it. All these negatives start with vowels.
it's easy. Forget.
On forget, and then the suffix. Because forget is a verb. We need an adjective.
Yes. But the verb change too.
Yes, of course.
Okay. With the verb yes will is forget, but with the verb, right?
As a verb. But the verb on forget doesn't exist.
Yes, as a verb,
Uh-huh.
but as an adjective.
As an adjective. Do you want to see the suffixes again?
Yes.
Here.
Ay. Mm, I am not sure.
No?
Forget
Make a guess.
meant.
Meant doesn't exist
Forget
in, in adjectives.
no, teacher. I don't know.
Well, the answer is unforgettable.
Forget.
Mm-hmm. Like drinkable, countable, avoidable, unforgettable. If something is unforgettable, you cannot forget it, usually because it is too beautiful, interesting, pleasant, etc.
Okay.
You see? That's why I insisted on everybody to pay attention on the previous word.
Okay.
You see? Because as you can see, in number 20, really it was not relevant if it was a or an. But here, oh yes, because of context, because the word "an" was giving you a hint to make it negative. This was telling you, hey, attention, this starts with a vowel, eh? Forget starts with a consonant. The only way you can do this is with a negative. You see why this was so important, or it is so important to pay attention to the word a or an. Any question, guys?
No, yet.
No, teacher.
Perfect. So take a note, pay attention to the details. Everything is on the details, okay? Everything is on the details. In the case of Silvana, now that you're home, do you did you know the answer on number 24? Did you notice the "an"?
No.
Okay, so this is new for you.
And no, I think that I put the right answer in my exam because I read it and unforgettable seems the best option.
Uh-huh. Let me check your exam. Mm, you wrote unforgettable. Very good, girl. Uh-huh. How did you get to that answer?
Mm, I don't know, just my brain.
Just your brain. Well, we need to make it more
Oh,
conscious.
I mean, grammatically, I don't know why. I just, yeah,
No, but we are not talking about
unconscious.
grammar. I want to know your reasoning, the way you got the right answer.
I'm sorry, teacher, my internet was not working. What did you
Okay.
say?
Yeah,
I
I repeat.
only hear right answer.
Oh, okay. No. So the point is, I'm not asking about a grammatical reason. This is not a grammar exam. It's more like conversational. Why? How did you get to that particular uh, reasoning? What was the logic behind your answer?
There was no logic. I mean, um, I have heard that word many times at the TV, and it just matched. And I think that it was um it was the right one.
Mm, it should be something. I'm gonna give you what I think about your reasoning. I think you were reading and understanding the text, and that's what helped you. Don't you think that?
Talking about that with Isaac many times. I don't know
Uh-huh.
why. I just like you said, I just read the text and the answer came to me. Not I just
Exactly.
look for the word and
Yes.
I don't know.
That
My
is an
brain
important
changed
tip.
that word.
That is an important tip. Because if we can see it two ways, you can see the way this is a tip for everybody. My first tip was, hey, identify the family, no, the word family, and then transform the verb or the word. But it's even better what Silvana is doing. Understand the text, If you understand the text, you don't need grammar. You only complete the sentence with comprehension. That is more important than grammar. Always. Always, 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 always. So when you cannot find the word, it's probable because you don't understand the text. You see what I mean? Or do you understand? Anyone? Hello?
Yes, well, I think that if we understand the context and well, we can like determine, or this is to determine what we need to include in the missing space, no? So
Yes.
yes, if you understand everything, you can infer the answer, even
Totally.
if you don't know the family, the word family or the suffixes and prefixes.
That's because you heard, you exposed yourself to the language a lot, and you can say, well, it's pretty logical. I need this word here. I don't know the reason, but I know the word is this one.
Yes, but I think that it could happen if you are really, how to say, familiarized with the language. If
Familiar.
you are familiar with the language, if you have read a lot and watch movies, so you
Yes.
have seen this word before and how to use it.
That's why we need to consume a lot of English content. Doesn't matter where you extract from, consume English content from everywhere. Okay? That's a very good way. And that's pretty much it. Okay? That was the transformations I wanted to check with you. The rest was comprehension and the writing. So let's make the most important, the most relevant tips that worked in a nutshell. Okay? Tips to improve your B2 abilities. Take a note on these ones. We are going to divide these tips into the writing section. While writing, while listening, while forming sentences, speaking or writing. Okay? In the case of writing, it's very important that you take into consideration the how will you say the same sentence using more native structures. What kind of native structures? We said causative verbs, passive voice, what's the name of this? Conditionals, and past moves. If you have the ability to use these structures when you are speaking, it automatically makes you a B2 speaker. In order to use these structures, you need to understand the occasions, the specific occasions in which a person uses these What do I mean? Do you understand what I mean with number 2? Is anyone there? Are you understanding what I'm saying? I need live students, not dead students.
Deaf, verde.
Yes, you're totally deaf. Today's
Yeah.
Friday, guys.
No, yes, I think that I understand this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So what do I mean with this number 2?
In order to use structure, you need to understand the specific question which a person uses. I think that we. I'm trying to find a different word to explain it. I think that is something similar that I said, no? It's like if you're more familiar with the structures, you know when you can use them. So it makes easier to understand them and also to find the the way you can use them.
Okay. Can you make an example?
I don't know.
Well,
For
that's
example,
exactly the point.
for example, with a passive voice. Okay, I think that maybe I can say um, maybe, for example, the new. Let me thinking something important. Oh, for example, the new Mexico City airport was built for international, how to say, flights.
Flights.
Mhm.
Okay, why is it better to use passive voice in this case instead of saying the government built the international airport for international flights?
Because I'm trying to say the purpose of this, how to say, of this airport, and I think that it's something obvious that the government built it. No, well,
Close.
that's the way I
Exactly.
think. Yeah. So I'm trying to highlight why what's the purpose of the airport instead of
Instead of
who
built it.
how say built it. Yes.
Perfect. So that's precisely one example. One, because when I'm trying to give importance, a greater importance to the thing instead of the doer, we use passive voice. As an example, Mexico's city. No, Mexico
I
City.
think it's New Mexico City's airport.
Okay, the new.
The new
In this
Mexico.
case, is the new.
Because it's something specific.
Uh-huh. Airport was built to receive international flights. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a very good example, man. Because one thing is to give a random example, and the other thing is to know the reason why you selected that structure in particular. to know the reason why you selected that structure in particular. So remember, know always the reason behind structures. Know always the reason behind these structures. Everything. Every structure. Got it?
Yes.
My personal opinion in this case is take your time while writing. Write it once, really quick, with the first ideas that come to your mind. Then rewrite it with better structures. That's the most important tip that I can give you for the writing section. Write really quick. The first time you write it, make it quick with your first ideas, the first thing that comes to your mind. It doesn't matter if it's incorrect, just vomit your ideas in very easy structures with easy words. Then take some 5 minutes to read your text again and improve the sentences that you are trying to make using the structures that we had in previous classes: causatives, perfect modals, conditionals, passive voice, and the correct structures that we had in the structure handbook. That's precisely the point. If you only write it once and you never check it, you are always going to write fundamental English, easy English. That's not the point. You know, that's how we are going to attack the next classes. Okay. Now, in this case, writing, you will have more time because speaking is a different thing. When you are speaking, you don't have as long as when you're writing. The time is short, right? So what you need to do when you are speaking or writing, the best way to attack this is by copying other people that you have heard in the past. So you should listen actively a lot of people talking in your target language. And keep a record of expressions and sentences that you liked. How do you know you liked it? Well, because you say you would like to say these expressions in the future, or because you feel how do you know that? What's the name of this? When you feel empathic, no, identified with the sentences. Your personal interest is the most important part when you are trying to speak. If you want to avoid thinking in Spanish, transforming your Spanish into English, you need to have a role model in English in which you can copy whatever they're saying, because that will make you copy them naturally. So you need to find a person or someone who you really admire in the language. The problem with a lot of students that get stuck in this level and they don't go to surface level is because they cannot find this personal relation with the language. The person still feels that the language is foreign. Do you know what is foreign? Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyone?
Kind of.
Kind of? What
No,
part
yes,
do you
no,
understand?
no, yes, I'm understanding.
But no. If you don't understand, it's better to tell me because I think I'm projecting myself on the examples and
No,
I'm
no, but I'm getting you. You know, there's no problem.
what do you get? Tell me.
Well, it was something interesting because I was thinking that, for example, I work with Americans, so I can listen people talking every day. But I was thinking that sometimes when they express when they use some expression, uh, it sounds interesting, but I think that the difficult part is to understand that expressions, well, those expressions. So 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 I think that's a problem when you are not familiar with them because I would like to use them, but I don't know if it is correct or not. But something that happened to me is that when sometimes when they send me an email or reply something and I'm CC on the emails, I can find like new expression, new words that they use a lot. So I can integrate them in my knowledge so I can use them in the future. So I think that
Yes.
is easier in the with the writing because you can see them and you can maybe search on internet what they mean. But when you are talking, it's a little more complicated because you need to understand first. The first step is to understand what they mean, and then you can use them.
Totally. Okay,
So
that's exactly the point. If you are understanding the point. If you're reading those expressions from the email, that's easier, no? And you have more time
yes.
to process it. But the important expressions are when they speak.
Yes, but actually, I was thinking about that because I say, well, yes, it's something interesting when they are speaking, but it's more complicated for me, at least, to integrate to my knowledge because I don't understanding what they are saying. So,
That's
and
what I'm
I
going.
also I don't have like the time to write them, it would be something weird, no? That well while they are talking, I am taking notes or something like that.
That would that would that's exactly what's blocking you. Thinking that is weird.
Well, maybe.
That's exactly, thank you very much. That's precisely my point. We will think that is weird because we want to interact
The,
like them with them as normal. But
don't you remember the story that Pharaoh tell us about him taking notes
in a
of
party,
other teachers?
Ah,
Yeah, in a party.
yes, I
yes,
remember.
yes, yes, yes,
Well,
yes, yes, yes.
and I'm thinking of that. Well, I was also thinking that it wouldn't be something weird because I usually take my notebook every time I got with my boss because well, if I with him is because we are going to review something about the or pending tasks or something. So I always taking notes about the things that I have to do. So I could add the expression that he's using.
Exactly. Yes, because you have a paper in front of you.
Yeah,
So there's
yes,
less even less weird, you know?
yes, actually.
It's part of your work to listen to Ringos and start writing, taking notes, the pendings of the day. Well, next to that, a little notebook of expressions of idiomatic expressions that you can copy.
Yeah,
automatically it will help you a lot. And then you will start thinking from English to English. The problem with
yeah,
that, with this issue, or something that is stopping us, is that we are transferring from Spanish to English. And that is lack of exposure to the language. When you expose yourself to the language so much, it becomes faster to find the expressions that we need at the moment. There you have it, brother. It's just making little adjustments. It's not changing your whole life. It's just
yes.
tweaking, changing
No,
a little.
and especially because I have the chance to interact with them, so it
You
makes
are,
easier.
yes, brother. You have a privilege over there.
Well, yes.
For real, for real. That is something that a lot of people cannot have. That want to learn English because they really, really need to learn English, but they don't have nobody to interact with. So it's
Yes.
so hard for them. So hard. So yeah, I did the same. That's why I'm trying. Like I was worried that I was projecting myself in the examples because I know that it's so socially awkward to have a notebook in a party. So strange.
Yes, yes, that's something really strange.
But who cares at the end of the day? It's
Yeah,
my life that, and I am doing something for my future at continuing studying the language while I am drinking a beer. They are not doing anything else. That makes you superior, in my opinion. Like to be in front of people that don't speak your language and studying their attitudes, their speech, their things, instead of just partying with no reason. It's like it makes you superior in many, many, many ways. So don't be afraid. It's you are doing something for your future. That's what I thought when I was in a party taking notes. It's like I didn't care. And they were telling me stop writing, and I was like, stop drinking, you know, stop writing, stop smoking.
I I can
You know?
imagine you like, can you repeat that part of your dad issue? Because
No, no, no. I
you
never.
use a lot of native expressions.
Yeah. No, no, no. I was completely conscious that I would break the mood if I started asking questions. So yes, that part was. But there is a balance, no?
it would be even more weird taking notes.
Exactly. Yes. So come on.
Yeah, like a psychologist. You are
Aha.
just taking notes about their feelings.
About the people. It's like, dude, you are in a party, man. What are you doing? Stop analyzing us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that part, that was a limit. If I missed an expression, I was like, well, doesn't matter. Probably
And could you
tomorrow they
repeat
are going to
that?
repeat. Yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Never. Never, never, never. Actually, in the advanced course, I have a lesson to avoid saying can you repeat, because socially is so weird, and there is a strange barrier that you create when you say can you repeat. It's an expression that can break conversations in a very bad way, and I have
Like if
that.
you weren't paying attention to the other person.
It sounds like you were in a different channel, and the person feels that you are not in the conversation. So it's like they stop caring about about you as a listener. They stop speaking to you. Mhm. That is so important. So there are expressions like, when you were speaking about that, do you remember what you said about this and this and that? Now it sounds like you are interested, no? Instead of saying,
Yeah.
can you repeat what? Repeat what section? So no, no, no. I try to avoid that expression as much as I can. But yeah, it was my notebook. I still have it with all the all the expressions that I learned, and I keep doing it. Sometimes I watch television, and when a person says something interesting, I just take my notebook and I copy the whole thing. And with you guys, when I watch the videos again, because I watch those videos before the lesson when I am preparing the lessons, and then I watch those videos again, and then I find the expressions that I liked the third or the second, the fourth time that I listen to the video. So I learn at the same time as you do. So that also helps. My point is, while speaking and writing, getting submerged in the language, most importantly, through activities or topics you're interested in, can make it easy for you to remember expressions faster. Because as we say, we don't have the same time when we are reading than when we are speaking. This is production. So let's talk about that, and let's go just a second because Jessie is in the chat. Hello, Jessie, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Thank
Hello,
you.
girl.
Hello. So I will take attendance. Is Silvana? Hi, Silvana. Good night.
Hi, Jessie, I'm here.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Isaac. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Good night.
Good night.
Mike.
Hi.
Hi, Mike. Good night. Thank you. And Jessie.
Hello,
Hi,
Jessie.
Jessie. Thank you. Good night. So that's all.
That's
Thank
it.
you. Have a good night and good weekend.
You too,
See
girl.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you, Jessie.
welcome.
You too.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. So the things that we have here, I started with the production abilities. What are the production abilities? The ones that are built to produce English. There are two different things: production and
A little bit far from the other letters.
yeah, I couldn't put it next to it. I don't know why. The other was production, right? Which was when you produce the language. There are two types of productions. When you're producing language with a long time to process information, and we are producing language quickly. Okay, quickly is speaking or making a quick WhatsApp example or something, or writing a text. This is slow. Okay. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the passive. Oops. The passive abilities, which are targeted towards listening, absorbing information, right? When we are absorbing information, we are listening and we are reading. We need to find in both ways a balance between the speed, how fast we speak, how fast we produce, we understand the language, and how much we understand. Because there is a balance that we need to find between these two. Okay? In both cases, getting submerged with the language into the language, not with, into the language, can help you understand quicker, right? But most importantly, the quicker you listen, or the quicker you want to understand, the less you will need your mother language. What's the problem with listening? That when we are listening to an American person, the first thing that our brain does is to transfer the information into Spanish, subconsciously. When we are processing a sentence, we are taking too much time trying to understand the person, and the person probably is already in the next idea, but you continue in the previous idea because you're processing the information in English. So the best thing to do while listening is to copy, paste sentences and words in the same order as you heard them. The best way to do that is to learn how to divide the language. The language is divided into clauses and phrases. This is a sentence, this is something we are going to learn in the next month. What is a clause? What are phrases? And how to identify this into a listening section so we can understand portions of information instead of word by word. Word by word doesn't help anymore. Word by word is going to be super slow for your level. So you need to know how to absorb the most information possible into phrases, portions of information. The same thing happens when you are reading. When we are reading, phrases and clauses help as well, because we are not understanding word by word. Instead, we will be understanding portion by portion of information. These abilities are talking about the passive abilities in English. And the other two are production abilities or active. Those are the tips that I have for you. If you start focusing on this, on every ability with this specific target, that will make everything easier. This target requires that perfect knowledge of basic structures. If you don't know basic structures, you cannot get here. So first study your structures and then use these tips. If you dominate your basic structures, you can start doing this. Do you have any question?
No, teacher, it's clear.
Awesome. Well, those are your tips for the day.
Okay, let me take a screenshot.
Sure.
Well, I'm not sure if.
I can pass it to you. I have it.
Okay, yeah, yes, I prefer.
Yeah.
Because when I try to take screenshots for myself, I think that it lost quality or something will happen.
Okay, no problem. I have it for you. Right here.
Thanks.
Perfect, guys. We are done for the day. Have a very good Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
See you later, guys.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye. See you on
Bye.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye.